Hi guys, my name is Ava and I'm a proud plant mom. I've lived in my apartment for, I guess, oh my God, over 13 years. And my window is to a wall, yet I have found through trial and error plants that have thrived in my apartment. So I wanted to share so that we don't have any plant casualties. We could lessen the plant casualties out there if I just share my my experience. So let me show you around. Well, actually, let me just share this guy. What's interesting is most of my plant items are from Amazon. I even have live plants from Amazon. I even buy my soil from Amazon. So before I show you around, this past year, my plants have been thriving the most, and I realized, and I also have succulents which need a lot of sunlight and usually don't thrive in apartments. And I was gonna give up on succulents, but when I got this soil, which is right here, this soil, I use it on all my plants now, and I think that that's made a difference. And also you will see this white rock that's right here, and I put it on all my plants. I just feel like it helps with the moisture. It also looks more aesthetic. But yeah, I live in West Hollywood. My apartment is against the wall, so they don't get sunlight, but yet I've got these guys to thrive. And yeah, so I think it is the soil topping, and also, I mean, they look nice, but maybe it's also my pots. So let me show you around. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This keeps the moisture in apparently, and I think it's just good overall, just to keep the soil where it needs to be. So this guy is a succulent that I brought to the bay, and it's done well. It's been in this pot, and I love this pot because it looks trendy, yet it's still light, yet it's durable. And I'm gonna link all these below because I think it's just everything overall that's helped my plants survive. And then this is also from Amazon. Love. Okay, in terms of species, because I think these succulents are just defying the odds, and I think it's the soil, but I don't know the names of it. I'm gonna find them, but it's these guys do really well. This, I actually went to the plant store close by, and they handpicked these. I told them that I live by a window, and these are some low light plants that they recommend. This is from Amazon. I really liked the spear shape, and these are succulents that are actually cuttings from my mom's apartment. And I think what lets them be able to grow here, honestly, is the soil. And I try to put the succulents closest to the window. This breed of plant has also done well. I mean, it came to the point where it went so tall that I had to cut it, and I guess it's propagated. I put it in water. Once it rooted, I put it in this guy, and it did well. And these guys have just been thriving, but I put them by the sunlight, and they've just been doing good. But again, I think this is a defy the odds situation because I live against the wall, but I think it's the soil that I showed you. So again, these are all random succulent cuttings. It just makes me feel like I'm at home. These are from my mom's garden in the Bay Area. And I put these guys right by the windowsill, so even though it's against a wall, they've been doing good. I think it's because of that soil I showed you. Now, these guys are good low light plants, and I mixed it with a few succulents, but for the most part, these are all low light plants that was recommended, and they've been thriving. I feel like they're also the hardiest plants. And I don't turn on this air conditioner, but I wanted to hide it. This is an amazing planter to do that. I initially bought this guy but he wasn't tall enough to cover the whole situation, but he did cover that ugly situation back there. So I like it, and it lines my window nicely. I also got these little wheels for my bigger planters. See how big? And it just helps me move things around, especially when I need to sweep, which is pretty soon. And if I need to rearrange things, because I do film and I need to move plants around, these wheels make it so easy, especially with this bigger pot. And let me show you, these pots are actually really big. It's taller than my desk. So if I have to move this around, I just wheel it around. That is a complete game changer. But again, see, this, in terms of plants that grow well in apartments, low light, these have not let me down. So I bought a whole bunch of them. This is part of the sphere collection, or sphere collection, not a spear. I really just love how trendy that is, but I love the height of this. So one thing I knew is I wanted different heights. I wanted to bring the outdoors in. So I feel like these plants and planters help me achieve that. So interesting fact, I actually bought these live bamboo plants from Amazon, and they just continue to get taller and taller. And what's cool is you don't need if you travel a lot, you put them in water, just put it in a really tall vase of water, and it's so low maintenance. And I love it because you could put it really far from the window and it doesn't matter, it just thrives. So I could actually, you know, put this wherever I want in my apartment, and it does just fine. I think that's like a huge hack. And the no need to water, like if I just had all my plants like this, I wouldn't have to worry when I go on vacation. And also what's cool is you could propagate, if you have cuttings, they root. So much fun. That's this guy. I'm gonna link these all below everything. So another guy that I don't need to worry about being by my window is this. So he is at the far end away from my window, and he has been thriving. In fact, a very interesting fact, I've had this guy since I moved to my apartment in 2010, and he is still thriving. And actually this is the mother plant of a lot of the plants around my apartment. I would just cut it when it got long, and I would propagate it and just put it in a new pot. Oh yeah, and these guys are cuttings as well from that bamboo money plant, and they just started rooting. So cool. I feel like I got a farm just from buying one plant. And okay, these are, I think they're called snake plants. God, the one I know. And it's already multiplying really quickly. Look at, these are new growths right here. And then this is a neon, and that's my name for it. It's like another vine plant, but look how bright it is. And then I got this palm tree right here. And I just love making little situations, little arrangements. And one thing I learned this year, guys, I didn't know that these guys root. And a little tip is, so this guy was he wasn't rooting, it was rotting at the bottom. And a tip, don't throw it away if it's rotting. I just cut it where it was healthy at an angle where it wasn't rotting yet, and it started to root. So sometimes I don't know what it's called, but I just don't hit where it would propagate. So I just cut it again. I cut the part that has that's broken down, and then I cut it higher where it's still healthy. And this guy I had to cut 2 times before it rooted, because it kept like dying at the ends, like it got infected, I guess. And I got these to root. So at some point I'm gonna put them in a plant, but I like them in this vase. But it's I actually bought it with this vase, and I didn't realize. So once I learned that it can root, I went and cut it in a proper way, so that it would actually root and I could keep it. So this is actually that same species. So if you have this, you could actually cut it and put it in a vase and root it and then start a new plant. So that is super cool. So there you have it. I gave you a little tour in my apartment garden. I hope that gives you some insight on what you can grow if you live in an apartment, especially if there's low light, or the worst case scenario, if you're right up against the wall, it's super hard to grow plants. And through those little tips I gave you, I was able to successfully have a bunch of plants thrive and maybe even defy the odds. So if you try these out or buy any of these plants, I think most of the plants I showed, you can buy them on Amazon. You could even buy clippings of succulents. It's so cool. Make arrangements and let them root. So I'm gonna link everything below, and if you start your garden, let me know. If you like what you saw today, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment below, and see you on the next one.